Charity, I can't thank you enough for actually heading this up.
You're welcome.
Everybody, this is Charity. She is actually the person that started.
I'm the one you're going to be tired of hearing from by November. That's who I am.
She is probably one of the most organized women I've ever met that has never been in politics.
And never will. This is not political.
No. This is political whether you like it or not.
No.
Folks, this is the kind of people we need. We need people that are woke, that realize that we don't need to be under this government thumb that is dictating to us how we're supposed to live our lives. So I am so grateful for her for doing this. So she's actually going to head up the meeting today. Little bit of ground rules though. When she starts talking, we're not going to take any questions until after she's done, because otherwise the questions start piling.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where she can't even finish the sentence, and we start losing track. We want to stay on message. We want to get you guys trained. We want you guys out there educating others, collecting signatures, recruiting. So with that, I'm going to introduce Charity.
Okay, and stay up here for a minute, Monique, because there were 12 people on my list that said I would like to do something in Bonner, 12, and like 2 in Boundary, until she said, I'll take it, and this is what happens. So when you have someone who's passionate, who understands what we're fighting for, and they go to a county and just say, it's mine, I'm doing it, this is the result. And you guys can take that into your cities and do the same thing. I know there's a couple of Boundary people here. Go up there and do this there. You don't have to have me. You don't have to have Monique. You just have to have a passion and a vision and a commitment. That's all you need.
Can everybody hear? If you guys can't hear, move up closer.
Yes, please.
That's what we're going to have you guys do. I wasn't planning on a PA system. I guess next time we will.
Okay, thanks. So I'm not going to go into if this is viable or not. I've crunched those numbers. I've been over it and hashed it back and forth for a month, and we're just doing it. So it's pending right now with the Secretary of State. We submitted it today. We're hoping for a really quick approval and would be able to start gathering signatures as early as this weekend. If everything goes as planned, that would be fantastic. So you guys just said the Pledge of Allegiance. What was the last things we said? What's the last line? Say them again. That was really weak. Just right. How many of you feel liberated or that you're getting any justice right now? Because I'm not at all. And I don't think many of the business owners are. I don't think any of our children feel liberated. They've been cooped up with us. They're really sick of the sound of their mom's voices, right? So what I'm going to walk you through right now, because I think everyone here is committed to at least understanding or actually going about collecting the signatures. Because none of this means anything if we don't have an army of foot soldiers on the ground actually collecting signatures. And there's just a few particulars to get it done right so that they all actually count when it's said and done. You can't just plop it down on a counter, walk away, and come back and pick it up. That's not the way it works. So you have to be committed and invested and willing to have sacrificed a decent amount of your summer. So, yeah. And then we'll all have a huge party when we kick them out. I have to be louder. People have to come closer. People have to come closer. Who can't hear me? Okay. Okay. Turn your hearing aid up, sir. Okay, so what I'm going to show you, hopefully this doesn't get on too much camera because there's names and signatures on it. This is what the petition looks like that we sent in. This is what it looks like when it's notarized after you certify it. So we're going to walk through what will make this help us kick the governor out. So many people have asked, well, why the governor? That's a big, pretty ambitious one. Well, why the hell not? Cut the head off the snake and then chop the pieces up after we get rid of the head of the snake. That's just my philosophy. All right. This is how you do it, people. You ask them if they're a registered voter. We now have a nifty little tool that the Secretary of State gave us because he decided to take away our polls. We can check to see if we're registered on idahovotes.gov. So before you even ask them if they want to do anything written down, you say, let's look up your voter registration. You can do it on a tablet or a phone. You just have to have 4G or Wi-Fi. As soon as they look it up, if they're there, golden. That just made it go a lot faster. They now copy down how their name appears and how their address appears. on the correct county form. That's super important. If you cross residents from separate counties onto a form, somebody's going to be crossed off because the people who vet the forms are the county clerks. They are only going to look at names on the voter rolls in their own county. So if you live in Bonner and you're up, or well, you're down in Latah and you go to sign one, don't sign the Latah County, you sign your own. They can have multiple, you can carry around multiple, and you just put the person where they're registered to vote. So that's a key one. So where do we put the person who's registered to vote? Very good. Did everyone hear her? Yes, okay. Well, where do you put the person who wants to sign? What sheet do you give them to write on?
The one in their own county.
The one they're registered in, yes. And as circulators of, that's what you guys would be called, circulators of the petition, you guys can carry multiple of the, I could have 5, I could have 6, it doesn't matter, however many people you run across. When you have put their name down exactly, it's important that it matches their voter registration, not what they think it is. So if their name is Joseph, they can't write Joe. Or if their name is Jennifer, don't write Jenny. Really try to match it. And there were people already messing it up, and I only got 20 signatures. And I was like, oh, for heaven's sakes. So if they do mess it up, it's okay to cross the line out. You just cross the whole line out and have them start again. It won't mess up the whole sheet to cross the line out. So that's acceptable. We just don't like it, but if it's necessary, please do it. Then they will sign it and they will date it. And it is all on one line. So the top line here is one lady went all the way across with it. They do not need to put their county on here because this whole sheet is one county. So you need their first and last names. You need their street number and the name of the street. And then you need their city. Will be here. Okay? Pretty simple. And then they're done. And then we're trying to get what they take away from us, our I voted stickers, right? So we're going to have I signed the little recall and then a big recall across it. So we're going to have stickers for people. And then that's it. And then hopefully they know people who will say, we're going to be here. We're going to come out. We're going to do more. More people. Awesome. So that couldn't be easier, right? Here's the harder part. You need to go find events to be at. We are going to have to utilize the smaller numbers we have to go meet more groups of people at one time. So door-to-door canvassing isn't in our future unless we're desperate. We want the events where people are at. We want businesses who have inflow that's coming in to either let us set up a table and do it for them, or if they're really passionate, if you're a business owner and you are always around and you want people to be able to sign at your location, we can put that location up and what hours you're available to accept signatures, and then people will know that's the place they can go. Yes, what am I saying?
It'll be on the website. The location.
Yes, yes. If we have a location, if you guys have, say, Cheryl, you've decided you're going to go to some kind of honky-tonk bar because they have a huge band. That looks like something you would do, right? Yes? Do you line dance? No? Okay. Oh, there you go. So you would get a friend and you would approach and you go, hey, we want to get rid of this amazingly arrogant governor, right? So you're going to let me sit right here and I'm going to schmooze with all your people. We're going to have a great night and they're going to sign my petition. And if you have it and you have that event locked down, you give the information to your county head or to your regional head and we'll put it out on the website. We'll try to spread it around, and there should be an interactive map up so it's really easy to find. You just go to your zip code and it should pop it up, ideally. I'm not a techie person, so let's hope it works. Our website is recallgovlittle.org. If you can't remember anything else, remember that one because it will link you to checking your registry, registering to vote. Oh, I guess I did miss that part. If they look themselves up and they're not in there, double check and make sure they aren't using an acronym like Randy for Randall or something like that. try all their name variations, and if they really don't show up, they can register to vote right there on the same website. It's just a different button they push. They'll need a driver's license, the last four of their social, and their birthday, and that's it to be able to register. I did my niece. She just turned 18, and she did it at 5 o'clock at night, and by 4 a.m. the next day, she showed as a registered voter. So at some point, they do an upload, and it doesn't take very long. So they won't see it immediately, but it should show up. All right. This is the point where I'll take questions. I'll take questions on any part of the form of the recall or collecting signatures. I don't really want to take questions as to why we're doing it.
Can I bring up one thing?
Yeah.
Let me bring up one thing. I have a lot of people that have mentioned to me that they don't carry a smartphone. They do not have connectivity. They carry a flip phone. For those people, I'm going to be getting our updated voter registration for people. I'm waiting for Mike Rosedale to kind of slow down a little bit. He's a little stressed out. But I'm going to get the current rolls for our recent election so that those that don't have a smartphone will be able to have that in a paper form and they can look right there, right then, okay? So just for those that have been asking, I'll make sure that's available to you guys.
Yes, sir.
If you ask them for their name and they're not sure of the name, can you have them record the name they think and the name that they might be on two separate lines so you capture?
Well, no, because if you look him up and you can't find him, you're going to register him, right?
Well, I don't have the capacity to look them up when I'm collecting signatures.
Okay.
Paper.
It'll be all paper?
But you'll be able to flip through the paper.
If you...
I'm not going to that's not the way I collect signatures.
Okay.
But I'm saying
Yes.
that if they have Randall and Randy, and you say on line 1 put Randall because you're not sure, and if it's not Randall, it's got to be Randy, then you do one line.
I don't see why not.
Right.
Yeah.
So
They're just going to cross one off and leave one on.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Bonner County Clerk's Office and the Kootenai County Clerk's Office both said it's more like a signature or a handwriting analysis. So, like for instance, if I signed it Jennifer A. Lee, but I was registered as Jennifer Ashley Lee, they're going to take the signature they have on file and match up the J, the A, and the L. They also said the Secretary of State gave them discretion to be able to decide on that. They said that there's a process that they go through, which is if it does not match, they do contact. They don't just throw it out.
Okay.
So they would try reaching the voter by phone. If that didn't work, something would get sent in the mail.
Okay.
So we put down their address, or they write in their address?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that their mailing address as registered or your home address?
Whichever they're registered with, and I'm pretty sure you have to register with your physical home address.
Typically,
Yes.
Yes, but you also can have a separate mailing address.
I do have that, and it doesn't show up. My mailing address, when I checked myself, because I do have the ballot sent to a P.O. box, it only shows my resident address on the voter registration. Yes? No. Nope, it just needs the number on the house, the street name, and like avenue, lane, loop, whatever, and the city. Go ahead.
Actually, that's the post office, is it not?
I'm sorry, just one second. I couldn't hear you. Oh, yes. So we're going to have a volunteer registration section of the website. So you should be able to access things that you need to be able to print. Flyers and different things like that.
Has to be on legal size paper though.
If this, what we sent in, if this is accepted as correct form, this will be exactly what you're using. If he comes back with seeing that we need something else or he doesn't want it on this size of form, we'd have to revamp, but for now this is it. We don't expect it to be rejected.
And I'm going to be printing up a lot of them, and I will have them here, so if people need to come and get them, or if they're in town in Monterey, they can come to my other store over there and I can get them to them there. I will try and make sure that I always have forms available.
And the best part, this one doesn't have it because we didn't need it, but on the back side, it's going to have those steps that I said. Check voter registration, and it has the website. Write it down exactly as it appears. Sign in dates, so it lists it out so you won't, and it also says, this is really key and something I'm not good at is completing a thought, right? If you're around me long enough, you'll know I'll jump from topic to topic. At the bottom here, and at the very top of the instruction page on the other side, but at the bottom, this is an affidavit. That is the notary section. Do not write anything in any of that until you're sitting in front of a notary. Okay? None of it. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be swearing under penalty of perjury that you were the one that was present when all of these signatures were taken, that you're an Idaho resident, that you're at least 18 years old, and that they were all residents of the county in which you collected them. So your notary will walk it through it, but the first part here where it says state of Idaho, and then it says county of, that's where you're going to write where you're sitting at that exact moment. So if I'm sitting in Lewis County, I can have 5 of these. I can have Latah, Nez Perce, Kootenai, 5 of them, right? I can get them all notarized at the same time, but they're all going to say Kootenai, or they're all going to say, where was I again? I was in Lewis? I was in Lewis. Okay, all 5 of them are going to say Lewis right there. And then underneath of it, when I'm swearing they're all residents of, the bottom there is where they're all going to be different. Okay? And your notary should walk you through this. And again, don't fill any of this out until you're sitting with them. Some of them can use common sense and judgment, and some of them, if you've written anything in there, they don't want to touch the whole page. Okay? Right back?
If we've done this and we meet up with our church or our restaurant and they want to take this and do it, are we allowed to personally train them?
Absolutely. There is no way that we're going to reach all of Idaho and have a presence in every county and speak as loud as we need to speak if we try to micromanage that stuff. So, and we are trying to overcollect. We need 168,000 signatures to stand up after the whole vetting process. We're aiming for at least 200,000 to turn in. Yes.
I told 2 people that I was coming to this meeting tonight, and they both asked me the same question. How are you justifying recalling the governor?
Because it's our goddamn right.
So you don't have to have...
There is no legal justification. There's nothing. So this is the people of Idaho's option when our legislature can't do anything. When our representatives can do nothing, this is what the people can do. It's like an initiative where the people can get laws passed by bypassing the legislature. So this is a different form of that. It's recalling. And you can recall any elected official in the state of Idaho. Mayors, councilmen, commissioners, sheriffs, there's a few that need to go. Any of them. Secretary of State, and somebody else asked me that. Well, why aren't we also putting the Secretary of State or the Attorney General on there? Again, they didn't make the unilateral decisions. They're just backing them up. Little did this. He did it on his own, and he's the one that deserves to pay the price for it. And if you start picking on all of the people there that are going to be involved in the process, we're going nowhere fast. So since we have to submit it to the Secretary of State, I need him. He's my useful tool. I don't care if he's done stuff I don't like at this moment. We can deal with it later, maybe at the next election. Yes, sir. I don't care. Go ahead.
Couple comments. As you collect signatures, the sheets become more valuable.
Yes.
And you may think about putting it through a bronze, silver, gold type thing. So as they get certified at the end, they're gold.
Yeah.
More valuable, so people
Yeah.
need to treat them.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that because I would really like for my county leads to be collecting already certified and with a notary on them forms weekly. So you go into your notaries, get that done weekly, hand them off to her, she gets them to me, and we're going to go keep them in a secure location. All 100 or all 200,000 or however many signatures we collect, they all have to be turned in at one time and in person. We cannot scan and keep files.
One more thing.
Yes.
Always maintain control of your clipboard. Don't
Yes.
let it get away from
You're not sharing it. If you go on a potty break, it goes with you, right? If you're all at a big event, correct.
Well, people have activists on the other side opposing.
Yeah.
Have destroyed sheets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taken the possession of it.
Yes.
Always keep a hand on it.
Yep, that's true. You don't if there's 3 of you sitting there at a table, one sec. and you are collecting signatures, you're going to have a lot of different sheets available to you because each person has their own set. You don't trade them around. Does that make sense? Okay.
So, I've collected signatures before. It was on the abortion initiative, and we go in to try to have the notary sign it. They will sometimes, if they don't like what the petition is, they will refuse to sign it.
That's funny. I'd have never heard that. I know that the young lady that did my notary today said, well, it's about to get entertaining.
They're supposed to be nonpartisan.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
1 second. He's been waiting back here.
Decision not to sign it.
Yeah.
Once this officially starts, how long do we have?
Excellent. 75 days, which really means 60 days, right? Because we're going to have to compile it all across the entire state into one spot, and we can't dink around with it. So really, we have 8 weeks of working really hard and then buttoning it up at the very end. Yeah.
Okay, so I live on the other end of the county.
Yes.
And so how will I, get the done sheets back to this end of the county?
Yes.
And then get blank sheets, because I don't have a legal-sized printer on.
Right. So hopefully we can coordinate with people that will be runners. I mean, if there's someone that's going to take a big trip up to Costco and they're willing to be a runner for the county and bring it up to me, there's ways to do it. If each individual is having difficulties, we can work those things out. But I would never turn it over to anyone you wouldn't trust with your life or your gun.
That's where the leads come into place. I mean,
City leads are important.
I'm going to try and have, there's people that can't go around and collect petitions or do some of these things, but they're willing to like be a drop-off point or a pickup point. Spencer and I have been involved in gigantic petition collections in other states, and I can tell you, you have to have people that are willing to go around and collect these things. I will be going around and collecting these things, but I'm going to have drop-off points and places where people can have it readily available to them so it's convenient to them, and then I'll be on a regular schedule. And that's what we'd like to get other leads and people to do as well. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Are we personally paying a notary every time?
Well, where I bank, I have 2, and neither one of them require for the people who bank there to pay.
right.
So I would look for that.
Most notaries in the state of Idaho do not charge.
Yeah, the majority don't, and some of your insurance agents are notaries. There's an accountant office in Kootenai that he has 3 notaries. He said we can come in at any time. Title companies, there's a lot of places that have notaries, and it would be really great to get a collection of ones in your area that are good to go to and just share it with the rest of the people in your area.
So we need to get the notary. We need to be in the presence of the notary when we do that signing.
Yes.
Then we have to take it to a collection point for it all to go into the.
For it all to come to me. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, this is an interesting question.
Yes.
I live in Clarkport,
Okay.
so we're pretty adjusted up there, and I'm going to probably be based out of there.
Okay.
You said something about the website. So if I go to the local bar there and they say it's okay for me to sit around, I'm cool with Daryl Wheeler.
Okay.
He hasn't given us any problems, and I'm sure.
Excellent.
However, you mentioned putting names of places that on the website where you might be collecting
Signatures, right.
signatures.
Yeah.
Do you foresee any kind of backlash?
We
in
have
this
to have written permission from the business before we'll do it. So if they give us the written permission to say, yes, we will we'll allow you to be here and we'll allow you to publicize it, we won't do it unless we have that.
Okay, because my curiosity is getting me, because Sandpoint can be a little bit, the police department can be a little shady on it.
Gotcha.
So if they walk in and say, hey, this is not happening, this is not cool,
Right.
and you have a signature saying, is that enough for them? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, I'm not a legal expert, so I can't really answer that. I would hope we're not putting more grief on our business owners. I think they've been through enough. There's a lot of public places we can go, but if they're committed and they want to do it as that's their part of it, and they're willing to sign on, I'm not going to tell them no.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is section 242 of the Title 18, makes it a crime for a person acting under color of any law to willfully deprive a person of a right or privilege protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. For the purpose of section 242, acts under the color of law include acts not only done by federal, state, or local officials within their lawful authority, but already have a sign on our business or on our property that says no trespassing, and somebody comes over to harass you for trying to do this, he will actually send his deputies over to stop them and trespass them and remind them of their duties.
Excuse me, Dave Kramer, our sheriff in Boundary County, is also not enforcing social distancing. It's the city police officers that are
And the state police.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So, let's say that we get the amount of signatures, it goes on the November ballot.
Okay, so when we turn all of the signatures in at one time to the Secretary of State, he sends them out per county sheet to each county clerk. There's 15 business days in which that they must do a certification of their sheets and return them to him. If he says that it meets sufficient numbers from that certification, he will declare that there should be a special election. He will notify both us and the governor in writing, and he has 5 business days to resign. Anyone taking bets on that? I mean, maybe if we got 300,000 signatures, I mean, I don't know. Also, if he does not, by law, they have to schedule the special election for a recall no closer than 45 days from the date it was called for. So that if we push it out to the last date of everything, the 75, the 15, and the 5, and then we go 45 days out from that, it lands us about October 15, 18-ish area, depending on when he gives us the petition to go for it. So that lands us on the November ballot.
Okay, so then let's say that we recall him on the November ballot.
Yes.
And then our lieutenant governor becomes governor, I assume.
She does. That is also in statute. We don't have to have a special election to replace the governor. It is filled by the lieutenant governor, and she completes his term in office.
And then what about the lieutenant governor's position?
That I did not research. I don't know. Maybe she can appoint her own, someone that was, on our side. Yes.
Will anybody be participating at the Liberator?
We have a booth there. Yes, we plan on having a full team there the whole time. It's a 10-hour event. Yes.
So can somebody sign the recall petition online?
They cannot, and that's a good question, and there's so many people saying, I've signed it. No, you've sold your information to a leftist organization. Change.org is not your friend. Don't fill out their stuff. So many people. Then there was also a fake Get Your Ballot site. It was vote.org. And people were putting in their information and expecting their ballot to show up. Craziness. Make sure if you're on a government site it says GOV, sometimes US. Never org. Org.com.
Just a suggestion, we have a big holiday coming up. Lots of people gathered for the 4th.
Yeah.
Be a good time to get out there and get some signatures.
Absolutely. Yes.
You guys know that Sandpoint
It's going.
Sandpoint is having, they're having their own parade.
Okay.
There's a group that put it together, and they're going to have, Travers Park is going to be taken over by the 4th of July Festival. And yes, we are going to be collecting signatures at that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you guys want to volunteer, feel free to sign up.
That's right. There'll probably be shifts there too. Yes.
Do you need to have any identification as a collector on the sheet or with you as you're collecting signatures?
You don't. We are putting, probably can't see this very well. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, I have it on the back of my car. We're doing this for t-shirts. You will be able to order them right online. If you want to wear it, you can. It says it's just a little recall, and it has our website. Do you like that? Isn't it witty?
Oh, it's awesome.
It's awesome. Okay, that was Linda's brilliant, witty idea back there. And then my husband made the graphic, and we were like, okay. And then another local business guy here made these window clings, and we want to put them on a t-shirt too, so I have a lady that's putting that together right now.
How do you buy it?
From him, I think he has an Etsy account.
So those are iron-on?
No, they're just a vinyl sticker that you put on. Oh, your shirt will come done. You would order the shirt. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure if it helps for a suggestion, but those yellow, green vest type things.
Yeah.
If you put them on them and you go into an event, you as a speaker can say, seek out the persons in the green vest. It's easy to see than someone on with a t-shirt, if you want to put it there.
Right.
Just a thought.
Okay. Yes.
I think getting back to Ann's question, I think we need to be prepared to tell people why.
Okay.
And I think we need to start with the governor has been ignoring the questions of the legislature.
Yes. Yes.
When they have been on calls together.
They're muted.
Well, yeah, and he wants the questions submitted before
Mm-hmm.
him.
Yeah.
And he will answer the ones that he wants to answer.
True.
But secondly, he followed into the footsteps of the liberal governors
Yes.
around the country.
Yes.
And shut everything down.
Yes.
Mindlessly.
Mindlessly. That's just it.
Mindlessly.
Yes.
Even those counties who had no cases, or under 5
Yes.
cases, or under 10.
Yes. So not only does he have no courage, he has no humility. Those of us who take a course of action because we believe it's the right thing to do and we realize later probably shouldn't be doing this, it's causing a little bit of damage, they humble themselves, they back off of it, and they do what's good for the people, right? Or for your family. We all have to make these decisions every day. We just, with the information we have, we just plot a course. But you have to make corrections when you know you're off course. And he is too arrogant to do so.
And then third, he has thrown, in a matter of 2 months, he has thrown us into the worst unemployment
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
Ever.
And we haven't even began to see and feel it yet.
Yet.
Yes.
And we are in Bonner County, we are at 16.8% unemployment.
That's insane.
It's going to go up daily.
It's insane.
County is about the same. And Idaho-wide, it's record.
Yes.
It's 11.5%. It's
Yeah.
worse than the Great Recession.
I know.
So
And they've been
everybody wonders why we are doing this. It's because he has shown, like you said,
Yeah.
no humility.
No humility.
Just arrogance.
And there's a whole lot of money he's playing with right now by himself.
Right.
Oh no, his buddies are playing with it.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
From China.
Yes.
Are you coordinating with every other county around the state, and are they as dedicated as you are, obviously?
Yeah, so I work with a team. Jennifer, Aaron, and I are the ones organizing all of the volunteers. Jennifer has the Southwest, and Aaron has the Southeast. What is so much more fun for me is I can be everywhere with you guys, and they have to do everything like Zoom and stuff. So they're a little bit slower off the ground, but I think they'll get a little bit embarrassed when the North, because I plan on having county competitions. Why not? Well, Kootenai might have something to say about that.
Boundary's coming along real fine.
Good. And we can make it a North versus South thing, and he's sitting on the Emperor's throne right now, so.
Two things. If you're not in the Facebook recall little group, this is probably a good place to go, right? To connect with you two.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. You can go to the Facebook page. The more we get into this, the more it's going to be just me. Get involved or go away.
And then also, I did a referendum in California here, and what we did for counties is we had those file folders and then wrote on that which county it was.
Yes, that can help. I plan on having myself a big manila envelope that fits them and putting those really bright tabs on them that they still really good, and I'm going to write the county on it, and you can pull them up by that. But it's really what's your preferred style. Just don't get them confused, and don't deface it. Don't write on the front of it somewhere, please, what county you're doing it in.
And did everybody that wanted to sign up on this get to sign up on this that's not involved? Here, pass that back.
So we have to turn in everything by August 1st?
That date isn't set. Our 75 days start when he approves our form, and it's still pending, so our 75 days haven't started yet. He will give us the number of signatures that are required, and he will give us the day we have to turn it in by.
Are you going 10 or 20% above that?
20.
I guess my question is, since we're doing this all online, you'll let us know when we can start.
Yes.
Looking.
Yes. She will be one of the first people that knows. Yeah.
That's a good question. Will they be able to sign online?
No online signatures. Everything has to be in person, and we have to turn in the inked copies, not copies of copies. But I will be keeping copies because if there's any shenanigans, the law lets me sue them. Why not? If we've gone that far, right?
Yes.
But it's just going to work, right? Because you guys are all going to go talk to people who are going to talk to people, and the little spider web effect's going to happen. There was a lady in Latah County who said, well, I'll take it. And 2 days later, she had about 50 people that can't wait to get that form in their hand and get going. And a gentleman sat one of his youngest of 10 children down and said, what do you mean you're not registered to vote? This is exactly what you're going to be doing, and you're going to be doing it now, and you're going to be telling all your friends they're doing it. So, yes, takes the whole family.
So if he doesn't resign in 5 days, and so he's going to be on the ballot, what happens with, the lieutenant? Is that just a yes or no question?
So it will be a special place. It will say special election, and then it will say vote for, and there will be a 200-word argument for recall, and then it will be vote against, and then that'll be his rebuttal. He gets 200 words to put in there as well. And we need both the majority of the votes and at least 361,662 votes for recall. It has to be one more than the amount that elected him.
How many elected him?
361,661 voted for him. So if you really don't like a candidate all that much, leave it blank. It's easier to get rid of them later. We covered it all. You guys are seriously the best behaved group I've had, and the largest. It's phenomenal. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Thank you.